last video we have discussed about the structures of disaccharide, and among three disaccharides we have discussed the structure of maltose and sucrose. In this video I will do the last structure of disaccharide which you have in your syllabus, that is of lactose, and then we will continue the further discussion regarding the topic carbohydrate. Okay. So first we need to know that what are the monosaccharides which combines to form the structure of lactose. So lactose is basically formed by combination of glucose and galactose. Okay. So I will draw the structure of glucose first. Six carbons. I am doing the ring structure of glucose. So okay, this is the ring structure of glucose, what we have already done in the earlier videos. This is the ring structure of glucose, and here is the ring structure of galactose. As we know, the only difference between the structure of glucose and galactose is, in case of galactose, the third, fourth, both of the carbons, OH is on the left side and H is on the right side, and second carbon is normal, having OH on right, H on left. Fifth carbon and first carbon will form the ring, so obviously fifth carbon will not be having this configuration anymore when it is in a ring structure. So this is the structure of galactose. When galactose and glucose is combining, so this is the ring structure of galactose. Now when these two will combine to form the structure of lactose, the disaccharide lactose, what it will do, for the ease of making the structure on a plane, because when they are combining in a solution, they are not doing in a plane surface, right? They are 3D structures, but when we are doing it on a plane surface, we have to arrange things so that we can make the or show the bond. So for the ease of doing the structure, I am keeping OH here and I am keeping H here. Okay. I have just placed them on opposite position. Now if these two will tend, when they will combine, the first carbon and the fourth carbon will, this is galactose, this is the galactose molecule, and here the fourth carbon of glucose, this is galactose, this is glucose. The fourth carbon of glucose and the first carbon of galactose will participate. That means this carbon and this carbon will form the bond, but they both are saturated, their four hands are saturated. Then how they will form the bond? Basically this OH and this OH will be the groups who will make it possible the formation of bond. OH from here and H from here, or I can say opposite also, that H from here and OH from here will be removed. If this OH from here and H from here will be removed, then what is being removed? H2O is being removed, right? And one single O group is remaining, and this carbon is having one bond empty. Now as we know, nothing stays empty in a structure, and O has valency of 2, so O will always engage its two bond, but here it is engaging its one bond, that means another bond is empty. Then the bond will be formed like this. This O will be shared by both the glucose and galactose, and this will be done by the first and fourth carbon. This is the first carbon. So basically the structure will be like this. So this is called 1,4-glycosidic linkage, and this is the structure of lactose. It is very easy to understand if you understand the rule, because the process of formation of lactose and maltose is same groups are being involved, and in the same way it is being done. So before I erase it, I would like to focus. So hope you will be able to copy. So this is the structure, and structures are very important for exam. Okay, let me move to the next portion then. Okay, the next portion I will start discussing here is function of carbohydrate. We are done with the structures of carbohydrate. Now I will discuss about the functions of carbohydrate. The first and most important function of carbohydrate is to provide energy. Okay, so 1 gram of carbohydrate provides 4 kcal energy, and as we know, body always prefers to use carbohydrate for production of ATP instead of fat and protein, because by using our carbohydrate that can be done with a shorter time and more easily. So body always prefer using carbohydrate for production of energy. Okay, so 1 gram of carbohydrate will provide 4 kcal energy, and that is why, and majorly this is done by using glucose as the energy currency, because this is the source, most ready source for production of energy. Even disaccharides, they are broken into 2 monosaccharides, right? Each monosaccharide will provide 4 kcal energy. So this is how carbohydrates are performing as the energy currency in our body. Not only that, RBCs are dependent on glucose for energy. Our nerve cells can derive energy from glucose only. Can derive from, so for nerve cells glucose are indispensable, and except beside glucose they can also nerve cells, beside deriving the energy from glucose, nerve cells can also derive the energy from ketone bodies, but that is usually not preferred by the body, as that involves requirement a lot of ketone bodies, and if body will need to produce that much of ketone bodies, then this can be toxic for the body too. That is why nerve cells always prefer deriving from energy from their primary preference, that is glucose, and they cannot derive energy from other sources like fat and amino acids. And another thing is the constant our nervous system is constantly working. So whenever there will be lack of glucose, you can understand it easily, because you will not be able to concentrate on what is being discussed in front of you. You will not be able to understand what is being anything which is involves analysis, thinking, anything related to that will not be easier for you to understand, because your nerve cells and your brain is not able to work, because it is lacking the only source of energy for it. Okay, so this is the first function of carbohydrate, to provide energy. Okay, next I will move to the second function. Second function of carbohydrate which I will discuss is the protein sparing effect of, or protein sparing action of carbohydrate. If you have enough carbohydrate present in your diet, that means your body will always use that carbohydrate to produce energy. It will not use the stock of protein for production of energy, and that will make sure that protein can be used for repairing functions and structural functions, because that is the major function of protein, to repair the damaged cell, to give to synthesize new protein, new structural components, to synthesize hormones, enzymes. So those functions of protein can be done without any impairment or any interference if enough carbohydrate will be there, and it will all keep supporting the need of energy, and it will help in meeting the energy need. Then protein will not be used for that purpose. So this is another very important function of carbohydrate. The next function I will discuss about is synthesis of ribose. Okay, so the another important function of carbohydrate is synthesis of ribose. Ribose is a pentose sugar, and we all know that RNA and DNA, ribonucleic acid and deoxyribonucleic acid, both are composed of the structural compound. Their skeleton is basically made up of this pentose sugar ribose. So carbohydrate is an inevitable component of our genetic structure also. So this is another very important function of carbohydrate. So the rest of the functions of carbohydrate I will discuss in the next video. Before I erase, when I end this video, I am focusing on what I have written on the board so that you can copy. In the next video, I will discuss about the rest of the functions of carbohydrate and few short notes of this chapter. Thank you.